To all introverts, what's your ideal first date? Is a coffee date fine, guys? Gonna ask her out tomorrow and it's my first date. Don't know where to go. If you met online and haven't actually met yet, then coffee is good, but if you know her, lunch or dinner is better. I don't know how you can possibly date right now with social distancing and nothing open though. A nice conversation. A quiet but still public place. Like a cafe or a nature park. Interesting conversation and some subtle, less on the nose flirting back and forth. We fight each other with knives. Am introvert. Was set up on this hideous blind date that I couldn't wriggle out of and was shitting myself. But this bloke was no dummy. He took me to the theater. We saw a silly dirty comedy. Avenue Q. Filthy puppets are hilarious. And a nice walk by the river for ice cream after. Dark. Mostly quiet. Low social pressure. Laughter. Ice cream is your full score. You want to create an environment that takes all the anxiety out of maintaining a conversation. And I don't know anyone who doesn't relax after a laugh. A nice conversation while walking. While walking I can relax and think better because I feel distracted by the environment. What if your date gets tired and wants to sit down? Unacceptable. If my date isn't willing to run at least a half marathon with me right out the door, it's a deal breaker. Seriously though, I love wandering together in the world indefinitely, but when the time comes to rest, I find the most calming and soothing place to be in front of a lake or ocean with some coffees. I'll bring an extra sweater in my backpack just in case my date gets cold. If it suits the vibe, we'll have picked up some ciders somewhere along the way as well. A short dorky girl goes bowling with me, and then we get gross bowling alley pizza. Bowling and pizza. That sounds perfect. Stargazing on top of a hill near a lake or a tree. Maybe with a cup of hot chocolate. Save it for later. Not going to an isolated place late at night with a stranger. We start out as friends with no dating pressure. Eventually it turns into romantic love. A museum or amusement park, something to get us talking about something. This is way better than a coffee or restaurant date for those of us who find being sat in front of someone you barely know and told, "Okay, now converse," to be nerve-wracking. Give me a trip to the zoo or an interesting museum exhibit for instant conversation hooks. Plus a shared experience to bond over. Asking Reddit for dating advice might not be the best idea. It can still help. Just write down all the advice that you see on here, and then do the exact opposite. The person doesn't show up and I get to go home. April 25th. Taking her back to my place for a lovely dinner and to cuddle on the couch and watch movies together. That's a hell of a first date. If I know in advance that she likes me. Tequila and shitty movies at my place. I think I might know how this will end. Watching anime while discussing how good or bad it is after watching 3 episodes. And it is a win-win situation because my crush is a weeb and so am I. Perhaps under ideal conditions, I may someday go on a first date. Ideal first date? Probably just going somewhere to get food and talk in a corner. Or go to a secluded place to talk after. Something simple and easy to do. Ideal perfect date? Going out to eat at night in a place with yummy food. Followed by either a nice walk or a drive to a secluded beach where there's little to no light pollution. Just spend a good amount of time cuddling, hearing the waves, feeling the breeze, and looking at the stars with someone. Unfortunately impossible and a high chance of going missing or getting robbed if I even attempt it. I like the idea of the perfect date though. But maybe if someone does try to rob you, then you should know how to protect yourself since you were the one who suggested to go in a secluded place. Lol. A fancy and romantic dinner at a McDonald's drive-in. McDonald's date is my favorite. Tears of joy. First date. Something where we can talk and get to know each other a little bit. Maybe a walk around a scenic park. I'd bring my dog. She's gotta love dogs. I'd bring my dog and she would be my wing dog. Just be super adorable and lovable. She'd see how good I am with my dog and just find me irresistible. Your dog would steal your girl, I'm sure of it. 100% tears of joy. What's a date? Two people hanging out, getting to know each other and realizing how awkward they are. That was a joke. I know what a date is, I just don't have any desire to go on one. I like your description though. If any date I went on was actually like that, wow. Instead they all feel like those boys I was supposed to dance with when I was 12 and in dancing school. EEUUWW. Some fun activity, bowling, mini golf, something of that nature. Well, my now wife brought her gang for pen and paper role-playing over to my place and I GM'd the adventure. We had strawberry cake and a party pizza and so much fun. It was nice to get to know everybody she hangs with, and she had a secure group of people to back her up. I could not think of a more perfect date. I have to say, even if that wasn't a private date, we had been chatting over half a year. So we knew each other on a friend base. Yeah, getting to know the people around her would also give you an idea on what type of person she is. I'm happy for both of you. Open mouth smile. For first date, I prefer doing something with the other person. Be it watching a movie or playing pool or going to an arcade. It gives you something to talk about and cuts the awkward silences. I would settle for someone asking me out for a change. Maybe pay something for me. I dunno. I suppose because I'm male, I'm expected to be the one making the effort that I would kill to feel like someone is really interested in me and make an effort for me instead of thinking maybe they are using me for a free meal. Honestly, this, as an introvert, to just never have a first date. Can we skip that? Fuck dates, right? Just get married right away. I'll take it. Maybe make a nice political alliance with the father of the woman and get a nice beefy dowry. Hanging out somewhere chill like a cafe, museum, or park. Museums would be nice. Nice conversation while I eat something home-cooked. I just grill some burgers for us and we talk a lot about her. We laugh a lot and just connect well. She sees how even as an introvert I can be very extroverted around the right people. I just let her hug me for as long as she needs for her to forget all her problems. What if she doesn't hug you? I didn't think this far. I would want to go out and do an activity. It's a chance to be active, possible teamwork or healthy competing. It's a good way to learn more about each other. Or just talk and have ice cream or coffee. It's simple, but if I'm out on a date with someone, I want to know them better. You can't get to know someone in a movie theater, and for me personally, I would only feel comfortable going to someone's place if I was friends with them beforehand. Yeah, no. When I'm more confident, he's not going to drug me or something. Exactly. For men to invite women to their place for a first date isn't exactly ideal for me too. A nice dinner maybe, and just honest talks. Drinks and a film at either their place or mine. Roblox, OFC. One where I'm comfortable to talk with the person. I don't really care where we are or what we're doing. As long as I feel comfortable with her, I'm fine. Probably coffee or getting some lunch, TBH. Nothing too high pressure. Online. Staying in. Talking. Watching something. I hate dates. Rainy night park walk. Yes. I didn't think I'd see any answer I could do. Ramen and yakitori at my favorite Japanese place. We'd an anime till we get married, then go out. I love everything about this. A breakout room or maybe the Aquarium, monsieur. The one that's cancelled. I don't really care. What matters most is that we have chemistry. As others have already said. Somewhere relatively quiet where we can talk. Coffee place. Park. Restaurant. Whatever. If he bring the blankets, I'll bring the cupcakes, and then we can have a nice, peaceful conversation somewhere. Maybe in a park or by the lake. Just anywhere where there isn't a bunch of noise. Sort of like a picnic, but a much simplified one. I'd love to have a real picnic, but that might seem a bit over the top for a first meeting, lol. Not all men would suggest a picnic date though. Most would probably think it's too much, but in reality it's what women want. Wait, hold up, women can't suggest a date? Also, now I'm curious. What do you think men would prefer as a first date? I mean, I'm a girl and it's the guy who asks us out, so we usually just agree to what they suggest. Unless it's a coffee date, then I would suggest something else because I am not a fan of coffee. First dates are really critical and the place doesn't usually matter, but it's how both of you converse. For me, I think men always goes for something simple because they're afraid of overdoing anything, which is good. So far I have never really met any guy who would suggest a picnic as a first date. The idea is nice though. Ah, gotcha. I suppose that's true. In my mind I always imagined I'd be the one suggesting date, but you're probably right that in most cases it'll be the guys to do it. Ha 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 shit, I wish I'd know this was your opinion before I posted my response. Never thought I'd get good advice from Reddit. Okay, I'm gonna suggest a picnic first date. Death. Dude, why? There isn't one. You'll never know. Waffle House and couch cuddling. Something that is an activity, so you have something to focus on besides the other person if need be. Arcade date? If both people weren't it, that almost seems too distracting to me personally. If it was me, I'd do something like rock climbing, or a sport like golf as long as both people liked it. Or like an ATV trail ride would be cool too. I'm excited to have a date where they can come over and I can just cook them an awesome dinner and we just hang out while we cook. But that wouldn't really be a first date. A meeting of a person that's an extrovert actually understanding me. Movie at a cinema and lunch at a cafe. Homemade dinner, Netflix, Hulu and/or open communication about different subjects. Netflix and chill. Coffee's fine, but I wouldn't consider it a date. More like a casual conversation. I'd say a picnic would be my ideal first date. Meeting for coffee, tea, and if it goes well, I'm not too tired from meeting a new person, there's a spark. Then a walk. Preferably aimless so there's no pressure to be headed somewhere after. Ending in double suicide. Video game date. Joystick video game nerd face. Obligatory married introvert here. Actually, me and my wife are both introverts and spoke over the phone for a month before ever meeting. Met via mutual friend. Our first date was to IHOP for coffee and our second date was watching a Family Guy marathon. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do the same thing. It was perfect. Family Guy marathon sounds so perfect. Ordering takeaway and eating alone. Self-date doesn't seem so bad. A night away in the mountains stargazing. A one-on-one honest conversation about our interests, likes and dislikes, just generally getting to know each other. Also going on a date in a relatively less populated or a quiet place like the park or garden. I tend to have anxiety around large groups of people, which is why I hate crowded restaurants. One where I am on a date. Can I take you out? Lol, made my day. I'll definitely put out. Night walk through the park. Then someone stabs you from behind. That would be nice. I want to fuck her brains out in an Applebee's parking lot. Will you text her after? Cliff diving into the fiery abyss of the underworld. First and last date. I'll never have one, so... You will soon, I can feel it. What's it feel like? Open mouth face. Warm and gooey inside. A coffee date sounds nice. Cinema. You can just call it a birthday, sometime in summer where it's not too hot. As an introvert, I don't go out much outside of work to be able to meet people and get a first date. But no, really probable a nice relaxing place. Maybe some coffee or enjoy a nice walk. A nice talk on a couch, getting to know each other. There's a bookstore near me that also has a cafe, restaurant. It's a quaint little spot, but it's near some other stores in the area around sunset is beautiful. Getting food, reading some books, and window shopping at sunset heaven. Walking around in a pretty forest or around a lake. I don't live by the ocean, so the closest we have is lakes. And then go get some pizza. Movie followed by ice cream. Nice date in a coffee shop. Ice cream in my favorite ice cream place. Get some food and walk in a park or someplace pretty and peaceful so we could get to know each other. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.